Number 7. The Spanish.
No habla español.
Anything but friendly and nice. But apparently if you're a tourist in their homeland, they're not too keen about it.
They're like, we could visit you, but you better not visit us. Hi guys! Welcome back to Houseless Reactions, where we might be houseless, but we're not hopeless. We're always here to have a good time. Today, the video we're going to be checking out is 10 Rudest Countries. Yeah, I'm very interested to see who the rudest people are in the world, I guess. So let's go ahead and get into it, guys.
What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to The World According to Briggs and an international video. Today we're looking at countries where tourists...
That is so cool how he's made his opening like the universal opening. I thought that was pretty badass right there.
He listed a few other countries he felt were almost as bad as Germany, but he said Germany was the worst. So
I'm a quarter German. Maybe that's why I'm so rude.
they felt the locals were the most rude. I also listed the top 15 on a few different polls on the community section of this channel, and this is what we found.
Let's get into it.
Greece is one of the oldest countries still going.
That makes me sad, man. I've always been into Greek mythology. Why they gotta be so rude?
Where you came from. Around 30 million people visit Greece every single year. The government and shop owners,
Look how beautiful those ruins are.
they have a reputation of being rude. I don't think it's always as rude as people might think. A lot like here in the United States, Greece, they have a tendency to talk a lot with their arms.
What's wrong with talking with your arms? It helps you get your point across, you know what I mean?
Is them being rude. Now, granted, like all countries, they have some rude people that are just rude.
There's some pretty rude people here, so if we think they're rude, they must be rude.
Rudest countries. Number 9, the Turkish.
I don't know a lot about Turkey.
Like Greece, they have a lot of history going on here. I mean, Constantinople served as an imperial capital for almost 16 centuries. All the way back to the Romans, the Byzantines, the Ottomans, they all had this place as their capital.
It sure does look very nice, though. I'd like to visit there. I hear it's big for tourism. I could see why.
2019, before the pandemic, they hit 52 million.
52 million? Yeah, they got a good tourist setup.
41% of the respondents had Turkey as one of their 3 countries with the rudest locals. Number 8, Italians. I mean, how can these people be so rude?
I don't know. I could see that. I've heard of a lot of rude Italians, but, you know, I'm not trying to be racist. It's just what I've heard.
But Mexican food, then Italian food. That's how I see it. Italy has some of the most amazing cities.
Yes, but Italy does have some of the greatest foods. Pasta, pizza, let's go.
Italy sees over 90 million tourists every single year, at least in the last 10 years.
Well, yeah, you have Venice and you have Rome. You have all those ruins. Of course people go to Italy. I would go to Italy for the pasta alone.
People apparently think the Italians are rude. Italians actually have a reputation for being rude. I mean, they didn't invent the middle finger, the Greeks did, but the Italians,
There's a reason why it's the Italian mob, man. You got respect, people think it's rude, but then you end up dead.
Invented banks. They really don't like bankers too much. 41% of the people listed Italians in their top 3 rudest locals. Number 7, the Spanish.
No habla español.
Anything but friendly and nice. But apparently if you're a tourist in their homeland, they're not too keen about it.
They're like, we could visit you, but you better not visit us.
They're the people that don't like a lot of tourists. The older people sort of like it, or at least they like the money that's being brought in.
I could get that, though. I lived in LA. I didn't like the tourism. Living here in Phoenix, it's a lot more simple of a life.
And the polls, the Spanish people aren't too keen on people coming to Spain. Spain sees about 70 million visitors a year, and 45% of the people surveyed had Spain as one of their 3 countries with the rudest locals.
It's weird. It seems like all the really big places have big tourists that they're saying is rude. I guess you do gotta have outsiders to tell you that you're rude, right?
They're pretty rude, the locals. I did a little reading, and apparently you go into the rural areas and they really like you. If you get in the cities and stuff, they're kind of rude and abrupt to foreigners. But the locals in the rural areas, they're almost happy to have you.
I'd be scared of the government over there. I don't think I could travel to China. I could see them being very rude.
Number 5, Americans.
Of course America's on there. We're a bunch of rude Yankees, right?
Shouldn't they be number one? No, we're really not that rude when you're coming.
I honestly thought we would be number one, though.
Like New Jersey, you'll probably think differently of us, but for the most part...
Yeah, who wants to be in Jersey, man?
You know, not just New Jersey, you might want to add Hawaii onto that. Hawaii's not too keen even about other Americans coming to that state.
Wow, really? I really want to go to Hawaii. I thought you guys would be nice to me.
Don't know when you're from another country. That's like my advice to anyone coming to the United States from another country. Make sure you know where the dangerous neighborhoods are. I mean, any neighborhood has the potential to be dangerous.
That is true. You don't want to visit somewhere and end up in the ghetto. That's how you end up shot.
Go see St. Louis. The arch is neat and all that's really cool. Don't go see East St. Louis. Don't make that mistake. Go see downtown Detroit. Don't go outside of downtown Detroit and you'll be fine. Go visit Chicago. Just don't go too far south from what they call the Loop, which is the downtown.
I think every big city is going to have its ghettos and bad areas and places you shouldn't be.
3 countries with the rudest locals.
It's okay. We're 50-50 on that.
Another country that has people that I think sort of get a bad rap.
I knew Russia would be on there.
With a lot of, especially West.
I do like them girls with the Russian accent, though. I'm just saying.
About everything. There's no like gray areas with them most of the time. And they don't sugarcoat much when they're talking to you.
It is true. They're very blunt, but wouldn't you want someone just to tell you the truth about everything? That works for me.
So you don't know. But in the survey, 53% of the respondents had Russia as one of their top 3 countries with the rudest locals.
Like I said, doesn't surprise me.
Germans. Yeah, Germans are rude and everybody knows it. They can't help it. They got a little...
Well, you told me Germany was number 1 at the beginning of the video, so you're tricking me, aren't you?
And like I said in the Russian part, that Westerners...
We gotta go to Germany to get some beer, man.
It's with Germans has never been good. The ones that I...
That's like one of the beer capitals in the world. That and Ireland.
I don't know what it is. One thing I've always heard over and over, and I kind of got that vibe too, they always get that thing where they think they're better than everyone else. Now, that's an opinion by a lot of people, not like a fact.
I feel like a lot of countries are that way. I feel like a lot of Americans think like we're better than the rest of the world. So I'm pretty sure other countries feel the same way about their country.
There are 3 countries that they felt had the rudest locals. Number 2, the British.
Of course, the British would be rude. They have all those messed up teeth and rude people. Just kidding. I love the British.
People in other countries. It's like these people know how they are and they just...
How? British people are sweet, man. That accent. Ooh-wee.
We're just rude and stupid and everything else like that. But apparently it's the British are even worse than us. 63% of the people surveyed had the United Kingdom in their top 3.
Will number 1 be over 70%?
All right, before we get to number 1, don't forget at the end of this video, we have these little things where the algorithms...
Come on, I want to get to number 1 already.
If the algorithm's correct. All right, on to number 1. And number 1, the French. The French...
Oh man, the French.
Rude. There have been jokes about how...
I should have known it was the French. They don't shave their armpits and neither do I.
Do things about how rude the French are in movies. There was a movie with...
If you're a guy, I feel like it's okay. If you're a woman, it's a little weird. But I don't want to judge people.
Everyone loved. It showed an Italian woman cooking some pasta and said, "Come to Italy, we're nice. We're not like the French." And it showed a guy with a beret flipping the camera off.
Well, and plus they surrender, man. That's what they're known for, is surrendering.
A movie that shows how something's...
Even though Napoleon did conquer a lot of the world.
He's basing his opinion off a movie. No, that's called an antidote. My opinion is just like the rest of the world's.
But Paris is a city of love.
Got some good wine, though. You gotta love their wine.
How could love be rude?
89 million tourists. Now, their target for 2020 was 100 million. We'll see if they get their 100 million here in the next couple years now that we're getting out of the pandemic. 71% of the people surveyed had...
2 thumbs up for French toast and French fries. Top 10 rudest countries. I was surprised by a few things. Like, I thought for sure America, the U.S. was going to be number 1. Because, I don't know. Maybe I feel like our country's just as self-conscious as I am. But yeah, I actually didn't expect France to be number one. I thought Germany would be number one, or Russia, to tell you the truth. But I really enjoyed the video, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, give me a thumbs up button down there. It really helps me out.